by one person, which is 15 million.
If she call me, I'll be there. I'll come running anywhere.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Unrealistic. Firstly, I want to update you on what's happened with that property I showed you last week, Rosella House in Cremorne. And I'm so glad to say I finally closed a significant deal worth over $500,000 a year. And that deal has been about 12 months in the making. It's been the most complicated deal I've been a part of. And from all the stakeholders, they've also said, wow, what a way to learn commercial leasing by being involved in this deal. It could not have been any more complicated, but I'm thrilled that we welcome CyberKnife Clinics. They're an innovative medical business. I kind of wanted to share the lessons around and how that all came about. So the fact that I'm, I guess, not naive, but just the way I got into this commercial property side of the business is I was trying to pitch for the owner's residential house, which is this amazing place in Toorak. And he goes, look, I'm not really looking to sell my place. Where I could really use some, where I like your marketing and your style is we could certainly use it on our commercial properties. And I said to him, I've never done commercial. I don't have the first thing about it. And he says, don't worry, it's basically the same as residential. I'll help guide you through it, and don't worry, it's pretty straightforward. So I said, great, let's give it a go. And literally a few months into it, got this lead. They said, we want, this is what we're after. I go, great, we can make this happen. And I put this deal together, and it was just an extraordinary result. And it just happened because I didn't go into it with preconceptions of what the market was like, because you hear a lot of noise out there that commercial property is tough. It's it's not that strong at the moment. But as I said, because I went into it a little bit naive, where I'm just like, look, let's just take your asset, let's present it and showcase it to the best we can, and then let's give our prospective clients a 6-star service. That means 7 days a week availability, being available around the clock to take people through, just the standard sort of thing you do when you want to deliver a VIP experience. That's what I did. And 12 months later, through these massive negotiations, the deals got done and the construction on site has commenced. So the lesson here is, just because you might be new to something, that doesn't mean you can't put together an amazing deal in the big leagues. Now we're on our way to our friend Henry's pop-up. He's got a restaurant pop-up he's doing tonight at Sleepy's in Carlton on Nicholson Street.
So we're at Sleepy's Cafe and Wine Bar in Carlton North. Today we've got a Vietnamese pop-up snack menu. I do pop-ups once a month around Melbourne. So Third Culture is a little platform that I'm trying to build. As an immigrant, or at least my parents were immigrants, coming from a place where Vietnamese culture and Australian culture kind of clashed. I had to try and find my own place in this new society where the traditional values of Vietnam were very much opposed to the liberal ideals within Australia. And so Third Culture really is the representation of children who've grown up in that environment. So those who have internalized one thing and had to externalize another. So the idea is that we are going to express ourselves through the food that we eat and the way that we reinterpret food. And so what I've got here is some bun poi, which is vermicelli rice noodle. I'm going to top this with some scallion oil. And then we go in with a bit of Vietnamese mint as well. This adds a lovely freshness and pepperiness to the bite. And then just on top, we're going to add our bola lot. So you can see here that the hibachi grill has given it a really lovely caramelization on the leaves. And then to finish this off, we're going to go in with some fermented anchovy and pineapple sauce, which has been fermenting in my fridge for the last 3 months. Some cracked anchovy and some peanuts. Alessio, can I grab the okra, please? On this side, we're just going to grab our okra. That's going to be finished off with a homemade satay chili oil made from confit garlic, shallots, lemongrass, and fish sauce. Simple, delicious, fresh. Service, please.
Henry, so before we start, this looks amazing. Can we try a piece?
Carbonara, we love it. We good? We
Love it
groovy?
up. We're groovy. So this is your 5th event, and see, every time you do an event, you go to a different bar, restaurant.
Yeah, a different restaurant normally, or a wine bar. So I've been very fortunate to have made a lot of friends within the hospitality industry.
I swear you're like one of the most connected people in hospo.
No. I'm just a cosplay chef. Every now and then I put on an apron and a singlet and I make some food and hopefully people like it.
Speaking of, why is this your outfit?
Because it's so fucking hot in the kitchen, mate. I mean, my uncles, my dad, when they were in the kitchen, they were wearing tank tops and stuff with the woks going on, so why not? It's an homage to that kind of style of cooking, where it's just about flavour and feeding people and love and less about looking fancy.
All right, so I'd like to update you on what's been happening. Last week I went to Sydney for my client's 50th birthday. Andrew is a good client of mine he referred me to his friends, the owners and business partners, the owners of that yacht, Edward and Karen. They've got a sub penthouse which they've listed with me in Melbourne. I'm going to share the video, the official marketing video for that property at the end of this episode. And that kind of brings me on to wanting to talk about what I'm thinking about with Unrealistic. Where's this going? How's it going to work? And first of all, it's a work in progress. So I want to be uncut. I want to be real. I want to show you what's happening. It's not about filming a whole bunch of content and then chopping and changing things to create a season and create a story. It's more so, this is what happened this week, done. This is what happened the week after. And you actually see a real-time journey of the evolution of this business. So that's kind of the general vibe I'm going. I want to take you on a real tour of where I'm taking the business, how it's all growing, as you know, we grow from a real estate startup into hopefully one of the great real estate brands in Australia and eventually the world. And this is the journey. I guess I'll leave you with a lesson on how I met Andrew, the guy whose yacht I was on, and his business partners. And by the way, the chartering business, if you like this yacht, you want to charter a yacht, it's called Je ne sais quoi. But anyway, the lesson is, I'll tell you the story of how me and Andrew met. I was showing him a $10+ million penthouse in Melbourne a couple of years ago. So last night I was editing episode 2 of Unrealistic, and it's all, it's part of the Sydney trip. It's part of being there for Andrew's 50th on the yacht, which was amazing. Thank you for having me. And you were in town in Melbourne yesterday and today, so I'm very appreciative you were able to join me for an hour to help me film some content.
Well, thanks for the unrealistic time frame, but here I am, happy to help. Okay.
I know. Firstly, I want to talk about how we met. It was a couple of years ago, and I was showing you the penthouse at Collins Arch. At this height, nowhere in the Melbourne CBD is there a bigger residential balcony than this one. This is the penthouse at Collins Arch, Melbourne's most significant architectural statement since Federation Square. I don't need to tell you that opportunities like this are exceptionally rare. If this penthouse isn't already sold by the time you watch this video, please get in touch to arrange your private viewing, as by this time tomorrow, it may already be too late. But you didn't end up purchasing that property. However, the next day you actually sent me a really nice email. Do you remember that?
I do, but let me ask you a question first. So was it a bad decision or good decision?
Well, it hasn't resold, so it's hard to know.
Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I do remember the email. I don't remember the exact content, Sash, to be honest, but I have to say that the experience that I had with you demonstrated to me your knowledge of the markets, your understanding of what was happening. And I remember thinking, okay, this guy's quite young to be doing this, to be honest, when we first met. But after the showing and our subsequent communications, I realised that you had a bright future ahead of you. And that's why I wrote you that email, because I actually wanted you to encourage you to remain in the industry and to work hard, because I recognised something in you, and which was right, if I have to give credit to myself, because I remember subsequently, within a matter of months, we had purchased, you showed me a property, because you got to understand what my actual requirements were, and congratulations on that. And I bought my first investment property in Melbourne on Queens Road, which you showed me probably several times before I made that decision. And that has sparked a journey which I'm quite happy with, because it's we've done a couple more deals and I've invested in a couple more properties.
Now, when I'm producing a marketing campaign for a new seller, I often like to include a social media advertising component. And a lot of people, well, not a lot, but I'd say maybe 20, 30, 40%, they are actually quite skeptical about the efficacy of social media being able to generate high net worth clients and people qualified to buy some of these more luxury properties. But what's interesting is you originated from a social media campaign, and many of my best clients have also come via social media. So I was interested to hear what your thoughts were about the social media landscape for business in 2024 and moving into 2025.
Well, look, I know a lot of people who run their own businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of them are in the sales business like you are. And I think this is particularly salient to businesses that are about generating sales. I think, probably 5-6 years ago, most people were focusing on technical skills and coders and people like that who had high technical efficiency. But I think in the last 4 or 5 years in particular, I've seen a big trend towards businesses that are particularly in sales hiring people like content managers and social marketing managers. So I think it's very vital. It's very important. I mean, there's no other way that you can connect with a mass of people, a lot of people that have a requirement for your whatever service you're providing in such a manner that social media can do. So I think it's vital, and I think that anyone who's looking to sell something has to incorporate social media into their strategy.
So last week you celebrated your 50th birthday on a beautiful yacht in Sydney Harbour. Mm-hmm. Congratulations and thank you for having me there.
Thank you for coming, and I hope you had a good time.
I did, and I actually met your lovely friend Fiona, who is selling the One Sydney Harbour project. She's from Lend-Lease Projects and who's the developer there, and that is one of the most expensive buildings in the country. In fact, for those of you who don't already know, one of the residences set the Australian record at $140 million for a single residence. And Fiona was kind enough to show me through the next day after your party at some of the properties there.
I traveled all the world to find you here. Oh, can you hear me now? I've searched the whole world.
Hello everyone. Hi, we are in Barangaroo at the moment. That is iconic location. So you probably can see we have 3 residential towers. The first tower, that is 8 levels, and we have a huge penthouse that is Australian records. 140 million has been sold. Okay, just on the top of this tower.
Did you see the details? Using the Calcutta marble again.
Yeah. So welcome to our master bedroom. So first of all, you probably can see the beautiful floor. So they just give the different handcraft details, and they sort of give us the baking feel as we are on ceiling. And yeah, you can see the floor they're doing very special way. And here you can see our Hermes wardrobe. So from here you can feel the very luxury Hermes leather, beautiful marble. It is very special as well. Green color is sort of like jade marble, and you can touch it. The texture is really rich and combined again with our Australian native timber together, so give the must ensuite a very special luxury feeling. And even the sink, they designed the whole marble, across the taps. So this is the only marble made tap sink in Sydney. They're all the handcraft pieces. And even the floor, we have a floor heating systems as well. So you will have a warm and beautiful looking and with a nice view. That were
full marble for guests. So it's a little bit contrasty between master bedroom, ensuite, and guest bathroom. It's more brighter.
Every day we have a meeting here.
Yeah, that's what we have a meeting.
Next time you ask me to join your
Please
meeting.
do. Where about are you then? We have
I want to because I don't have invitation.
No,
You don't need me.
no invitation.
Every
anytime.
day? Yeah, I know you every.
Yeah, very hard to find around the world.
So if you're in this apartment we're about to go into, if the key works, how much is this one selling for?
20, over 20 million.
Over this way. Alright, let me turn on the lights on.
What about the $50 million one?
20. This is a 23.
No, the $50 million one.
50, the
Full
whole
floor.
level.
Yeah.
The whole level.
Oh, this is 23?
This is 77 whole
Oh,
level.
77 million.
This is on 77 level.
Yes.
And the whole level sold by one person, which is 50 million, with 3 apartments.
Have they all been combined or are they separate?
2 of them combined, you will see. This is one of them,
So-
23. 23 plus next door, 20, that is 43. And another one is a 10 million. Together is 53 million.
So did he get one for maybe a different family member or one office?
Just for their family. We have 8 families purchase whole floor. Not just himself. We have 8 families purchase whole floor in 2019. The first time they launched on the market. Beautiful view. I think that is Australia. Denmark. Facing to north, overlook Opera House and Range. And we are at the moment we are in Tower 1, which was on the market in 2019. And once we released those apartments, we sold immediately. Burgundy Reserve, just specifically designed for us. And the whole area just create.
If you've ever wondered what a master bedroom in a $23 million apartment looks like, let me show you. So, firstly for your walk-in robes, you'll have leather by Hermes in the back. Your flooring here is like being on a yacht. Here in the bathroom, we've got tiles from Egypt and just quality finishes throughout. And my favourite part is what you wake up to every morning and go to bed with. You have the Sydney Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, and everything else. And back to your party again. I met another lovely lady there, one of your good friends, who purchased a $39 million apartment in that building. And I was curious to hear your insight, your perspective, what motivates somebody to purchase a property like that?
Okay, so I can't speak for my friend, but I can say that in my opinion, I think when you're spending amounts of money of that size, you are buying a lifestyle and you're buying into some sort of iconic development, whether it's a building in Manhattan with Central Park views, or it's a building like One Sydney Harbour with fantastic views of Sydney Harbour and the Harbour Bridge. You're not buying it for investment purposes. But in saying that, some of these people have made a lot of money anyway, buying these properties off the plan, and I've heard of resales that are happening at even higher prices, which is great. But I think that most people who are buying at this level of the market, these stratospheric prices, they're buying purely for the lifestyle, and often into developments that are iconic, that are designed by amazing architects that have the highest standards in terms of living spaces and everything that you would expect for a multi-million-dollar apartment. And I think that the trend towards these super high-priced apartments is very, very strong, because people are now focusing more on lifestyle and the way they live and how they live more than ever. And so if you're in that space, Sash, keep going, because you'll do very well.
Thank you very much. Sash, Sydney, coming soon, one day.
How was that? Was that a good answer?
Amazing. Surpassed expectations. So, for anybody watching this who is in the market for a penthouse, perhaps a stratospherically priced penthouse, we've got ones ranging from $5 million up to $90 million across Melbourne and Sydney. So please get in touch if you'd like some more information. Andrew, apart from investing in Melbourne property and Sydney property and all sorts of properties, what else is going on business-wise for you?
Well, I sold a business a couple of years ago, so I had a non-compete, so I wasn't able to operate in that industry for a while. And during that period, I started focusing on hotels and lifestyle businesses. So myself and a group of investors own some hotels in Bali, and we're expanding to Vietnam and also Sri Lanka. We also own a charter business that relates to flying people around and giving them fantastic experiences on yachts around Australia. And I'm also invested in quite a few other businesses, but this is not about me, it's about you. The last 2 years has been very interesting for me because I've diversified more into investments rather than running my own business. But at this time I am considering opening a new business that I'll have to be hands-on and start operating.
It sounds like you miss the energy of being the operator, being the entrepreneur.
Well, depending on the mood on the day, just like you're a business owner too, so you know that there are ups and downs of businesses, and I guess the most important thing is perseverance. So any new business that I'll be starting, it's not going to be easy. Businesses are never easy to run, but I think in the long term, if you stay focused and you understand what your goals are, the rewards are very significant. So I would encourage you, in particular, Sash, given the stage at which you're at in terms of your business, to stay focused and you'll do well.
And what would you say as well when people who have grand ambitions, perhaps they're called unrealistic, what would you say to that?
I don't think anyone can blame you for having unrealistic goals, because really in this world you've really got to aim really, really high and expect that you probably won't get there, but that if you get halfway there, then that's enough. Okay, so I think if you want to dream big, continue to dream big, dream bigger even, because it's very difficult to achieve everything that you want to achieve in life. But if you do dream big in the first instance, then at least getting halfway there is still quite a big achievement. You know?
That's a good point.
Aim for the stars, that's what they say, right?
Land in the moon.
Something like that, yeah.
Did you make that up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you make it up?
No.
Okay.
So finally, Andrew, as someone who's built a variety of businesses catering to high net worth clientele, what would you say are some of the do's and don'ts in regards to communication with them, serving them, and how to market to this type of audience?
Well, in my experience, I think the most difficult thing for you to do is to actually genuinely put your client's interests ahead of your own. And quite often that might mean you might have to walk away from closing a deal or a sale because you realise that the transaction or the sale that you're about to make, or whatever it is that you're doing, is not in the best interest of the client. And even if it means that you forego income or commission, or whatever it is that you're looking to achieve in that instance, that the development of a relationship, a long-term mutually beneficial relationship, is the most important thing that you'll have. So in any business, the goodwill is in the relationships you have, and the only way that you can demonstrate to a client that they should be working with you and continue to work with you in the long term is to show them that you've got their best interests at heart. So that means that quite often I will recognise, for example, that I may not be the best person or the best business to fulfil the client's requirement in a certain instance, and I have no issues in referring them to someone else and saying, okay, look, I can't do this for you. This person will do it better for you, or you shouldn't do this because of this. And in the long term, that'll generate you more sales and what you're looking to achieve. So what I generally say is that if you help enough people get to where they want to get, you're going to get to where you want to get as a result.
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so that's my main piece of advice. If you're asking for advice, which I'm not sure that you are, but I'm giving it to you anyway.
I kind of am, yeah.
And I'm not really the type of person to give advice, but since you've asked that question, I think that's the most important thing. Do what you say you do is also important. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And the second thing is always keep your client's best interest at heart, even if it conflicts with your own. Okay?
Amazing, well, Andrew. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
No problem, my friend.
Bye, guys.
Run faster, don't take it slow. There's no time for looking back. There's calm before the storm. Take back it all, fight for it all, until the end. There's calm before the storm.